Hi everyone, great to see you here. I'm Lucy from Lucy Corbally Yoga. You know that already. And today we're going to do a really nice, quick little session to ease lower back pain. Really, really common if you're pregnant, if you have had a baby recently, or if you are a human being with a body. Really, really common. So we're going to do some movements today that hopefully will ease that up a little bit and keep everything nice and juicy. Okay, so you don't even need a mat today, particularly just a little bit of space perhaps. But if you have a mat, great. Dress in something comfy and let's get started. So we're going to start from standing. So we're going to take our feet about hip distance apart, maybe slightly wider, and just soften into your knees a little bit, maybe even a little bouncing, just side to side over the feet. I'm not even really lifting my feet up, just keeping my knees really soft, just a little bouncing side to side. And this is really great for your nervous system, just gentle bouncing and rocking, really soothing. I'm just starting to kind of drop into our body a little bit. So when you're ready, we'll just come back to the middle there. And maybe just spreading your toes out a little bit, and we could rock forward and back a few times over our feet, and then resting your weight back more into your heels. And again, just that little softness in the knees. And we're just going to think about lengthening through our spine, crown of the head rising upwards, but the tailbone just ever so slightly drawing down. And particularly in pregnancy, our lower back curve gets more exaggerated as the weight in front gets more, of course. So just, reminding ourselves to just gently lengthen the tailbone down. We're not tucking under, but just that lengthening through the spine, and roll our shoulders back. And just pause here for a moment and maybe take a few deeper breaths. A nice long deep breath in, and maybe a sigh out. And again, nice long deep breath in. Let the shoulders drop, let your jaw be nice and soft. And again, deep breath in. Sigh it all. So let's continue with that breath. But as we inhale, think about spreading our wings nice and wide and lifting right from the middle of our chest, our breastbone rising upwards, and we can maybe even look up towards the sky here. And we keep those knees nice and soft as we exhale and round through our spine a little bit. Let me show you this way. As our arms come forward, our fingertips might touch in front. Now we're kind of drawing the tailbone under and the shoulders forward a little bit. Hug a tree in front of you. And then again, inhale, opening up our wings here. And exhale, drawing forwards. So there's that little rock in the pelvis. But as we open out here, think about lengthening this front part of the body, that lifting of the heart. And then as we exhale, letting your tailbone draw under, shoulders open up across the back. And then again, inhale, opening out. And exhale, drawing forwards. Nice soft knees. Bend the knees more as we come forward here. Inhale, lifting the heart. And exhale. Good. We can make this movement bigger or smaller depending on how your body is feeling today. So working with where you are right now, of course. And just gently bringing the arms forward when you're ready. Just moving with the breath as best you can, but finding that fluidity through the whole spine, focusing maybe on moving the pelvis forward and back here. Letting the whole body get involved. Great, we'll do that a couple more times. And then slowly, when you're ready, we'll come back towards the middle. So just let your arms come back down the sides. We're going to keep those knees slightly soft so we're not locking out our legs at all. And roll the shoulders back. Weight back in the heels slightly, and then lifting your left arm up towards the sky. Reach high. And then as we exhale, we're just going to slide that right hand down the outer thigh, gently hugging Belly in towards the spine as we come over to the side. Resist this shape. So as if you're trying to pull out of this shape, but don't. We're going to pause. And now you can. Lifting all the way up and over. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. Inhale, lifting up. Reach high through that side. Lengthen through that whole right side of the body. And then exhale, gently engaging belly towards the spine as we come over. And as if you're trying to lift up out of this shape, but don't just yet. Just kind of think about that lengthening through the side. And then coming all the way back to center. Good. Both arms are going to lift all the way up here. Good. And maybe touch our fingertips together and exhale our hands back through towards the heart. Let's take our arms out into like a cactus shape. Maybe take the knees slightly wider, maybe not. Knees stay nice and soft, and we're just going to gently turn the upper body around towards the right here. Let the knees, the feet come with you as much as they need to. Just move as much as they need to, so we're not locking anything out. Come back to center, and again, just gently turn to the other side. And again, back to center, and around to the opposite side. And again, back to center, and slowly around towards the left. Back towards the center here, and let your arms release all the way down. Roll the shoulders back. Let's again just soften into our knees, maybe a little bounce again. Bouncy knees, bouncy feet if you would like. And then again, resting back in the heels slightly, we're going to come into some hip circles here. So just gently turning the hips around in a circle. Again, feeling that the weight of your body move across your feet, but also feeling into your lower back. If you want to lean into any places along that journey of the circle, feel free to do that. And we might switch directions. It might feel nice to keep this, quite full bodied, like let the shoulders get involved as well. And, whatever you like. Or maybe it becomes a little bit more focused on the hips themselves and the pelvis, and we're kind of imagining that we're trying to hit every number on the clock as we spin around that circle. Good. And again, seeing if you can turn it in the opposite direction as well. And maybe there are parts that feel a little sticky. That's okay. Go with it. Breathe into it. Good. And again, just changing directions. And we can mix those two things up. Big circles and then smaller circles. Breathe in, breathe in. Gorgeous. When you're ready, coming back to the center, let's take the feet a little wider still. Keep it smaller if your hips, pelvis feel a little sensitive, of course. And let's just rock side to side here. So we're going to make like a U shape with our hips as we dip under and through, sticking the hip out to the side, under and through. Let it get groovy and juicy. Good. Weight back in the heels as we control the movement. Let your hands do whatever they want to do. It's miraculous. Great. Side to side. Lovely. Good. And then when you're ready, slowing it down, come back to the top. We're going to turn our right foot towards the top of the mat. Our left foot is going to be a little way behind. Doesn't need to be extreme. It can be much smaller if you need it to be. Again, we're going to keep the knees soft here. And thinking about just tucking the tailbone slightly under and then bending into both knees. We're lowering this left knee down towards the floor a little bit and then press through that right heel to rise. And again, when you're ready, steady, steady. It's okay to be wobbly. And we're going to lower. So tuck the tailbone under and lower with control. Left knee towards the floor. Press through the right heel to rise. Good. Leave the arms out, or if you want to, we might take the arms a little wider. Bringing the knee down towards the floor. Press through that right heel to rise. Maybe the arms lift up as well. We might lengthen through our legs. And then again, slowly float it down. Tuck the tailbone under. That's quite key. As we lower that back knee down towards the floor. It doesn't need to touch the floor now or ever. That's not what we're going for here. We're just thinking about that lengthening, tucking the tailbone under, lower the knee down. We're going to do 2 more. Lift up. And then lower. Tailbone tucks under, lowering down, and lifting back up. Keep the legs as they are. This time, lengthen through your legs. Knees don't need to be locked out, but we're going to keep that kind of lengthened sensation. Taking hands to the hips, and imagine that your bum is a helium balloon and suddenly it's starting to float up towards the sky. We're folding from the hips, and we're just going to extend our head forward. Good. Bend into that front knee to press through the heel to lift all the way back up. Good. And again, lengthened legs to begin. Your helium balloon bum is going to start to float up and you're hinging at your hips. Good. And maybe your crown of your head draws forward here and then bend into that front knee, maybe the back knee as well, to lift all the way back up. One more time. Helium balloon bum floats up as we extend forwards. Good. And then soften to lift up. Great stuff. Step the feet back together. Give it a jingle jangle. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. So when you're ready, stepping the right foot back a little way. The back heel is lifted. Toes facing towards the top of your mat or just the same direction ahead of you. And then we're going to tuck the tailbone under and lower with control that back knee down, bending into both knees. Press through your left heel to rise. Good. And again, tailbone under, lower with control. That front heel is your power source to lift. Good. And again, tuck the tailbone under, lower, and lift. Good. Maybe our arms lift up, maybe they don't. Tailbone under. And the knees bend as we lower down. Good. Press through the front heel to rise. Lift up. Good. Two more. Tailbone under. Knees slowly bend with control. Use that front heel. Press through the heel to lift up. And rise. And last one. Arms might come down, or we might just leave them out completely. Control that movement down. The tailbone is tucked under. Lovely. That front heel really connects to lift up. Good. Take your hands to your hips. The back foot might step slightly in. Legs are long. Your helium balloon bum is lifting and you're folding from your hips, just gently extending the crown of your head forwards and then lifting back up. Good. And again, slowly keeping the hips fairly stable here, thinking about your bum sliding up, floating up as you hinge from your hips. Again, press through that front heel to rise. And one more. We'll come forwards from the hips. Good. Breathe into it. If it feels nice, then bend into that front knee to lift up. Good. Maybe reach our arms up just for a little extra here. And then bring your arms down and step your feet together. Give everything a little shimmy and a shake. Lovely. Good. We're going to come down to the floor. Do that however you want to do it. Or a little downward dog in the middle. Sure thing. Or just slowly, carefully making our way down. Let's come to hands and knees for a moment. And take your knees a little wider. Maybe as wide as the mat. Got a mat. And your toes might kiss together slightly. And then we're just going to come back to this circling. So maybe just kind of making a circling movement with your hips. And again, just feeling into the space and your body. See how it feels. No wrong way to do this. Really just seeing how your body feels right now. And then when you're ready, we'll just gently draw our sit bones back towards our heels. Maybe bring your head to the floor. You could grab a cushion, a bolster, a block, friendly cat or dog, and just rest your head on something. And just gently thinking about this opening space in the lower back. So we're just going to take a few breaths here, really focusing on the breath opening the back ribs. Maybe feeling that movement of the breath between the shoulders. If your head is turned to one side, you might just take a few breaths with the head turned in the opposite direction. I won't do that just now. And then when you're ready, just gently starting to lift up from this place. So we're going to come to all fours. Bring your knees a little closer together. So knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, more or less. And again, thinking of that lengthened spine. And then when you're ready, we'll come into cow and cat. So as we inhale, you might just gently let your tailbone lift up slightly. It doesn't need to be much. And reaching your heart forwards, lifting the crown of your head up. So really nice to imagine that you have an elastic band tied from your collarbones to your pubic bone. And when we're coming into that cow position here, rather than just kind of letting your belly sink down, what we're actually thinking about is lengthening that elastic band as long as it can possibly be. And then as we exhale, tucking your tailbone down, starting to roll tuck your tailbone under rather, and opening up across the back. And that elastic band in the front of our body suddenly becomes very, very loose. And we feel that opening across the shoulders, chin to chest. And then again, inhale, lengthening the front of our body. Take it slow. And exhale. Roll the tailbone down. Start the movement from the tailbone. Let it travel through the spine. Ripple all the way up to the crown of the head. And continue. Please close the eyes. Just drop into the movement. How it feels. Good. And then when you're ready, slowly coming back towards the center, no rush. So finding the midway there. We're going to keep that kind of connected sense, belly, maybe baby and belly, drawing in towards the spine. Just taking your hands a step forward here and drawing your sit bones back as if you're trying to draw your hips back towards your heels. But because we're reaching our arms forward, that's not going to happen. But still that lengthening sensation. We're not collapsing again. There's still that little bit of support, that drawing of the belly, baby and belly, up towards the spine. Lengthening through the side body. And the armpits and the arms. And then gently bringing your hands back a little bit. If it feels okay, you might take the knees a little wider. And again, just sitting back into child pose. Either with a support underneath you, head on the floor, head on your arms, hands, whatever you want. But having your head supported in whatever way feels right for your body right now. And again, just taking some time to feel the lower back, just gently lengthening, opening, and the movement of the breath, your breath opening up across your back ribs and maybe between the shoulder blades. And then staying there for as long as you like. And already just very gently lifting back up, maybe taking the feet out to one side to sit down. You might just rest back in your hands and let the knees just gently rock side to side. So keeping that nice hip distance, at least maybe wider between the legs. And just that gentle rocking. And then if you want to take a lie down, feel free to do that. If it's time to move on with the rest of your day, then transitioning with care and attention. And wishing you lots of love. Have a great day, a lovely sleep, whatever might be next for you. And I'll see you very soon.